All right, so hey, we're Singing Lungs, and we're from a Michigan band, and this song that we're gonna play is on our new EP that's just come out on Your Lucky Stars Records, which is an emo label, and we like to kind of hide our emo-ness in the '90s pop punk kind of vibe. We bury it in there, but this song is about death, uplifting, just about how these death experiences can shape your lives throughout your life. And it's called I Don't Remember Much.
I will admit I never knew that was the theme, and it's kind of...
Yeah. You brought it down?
Yeah, just a little.
I'm glad you pay attention to what I bring to you.
I kind of like this one now.
Yeah. I don't remember much. I don't remember much. I don't remember much. I don't remember much. But I know something about dirt under fingernails. And I know something about the smell of onions and butter. your pocket. Maybe it brings good luck. We can't go back, so just let go. I don't know why. Oh, I don't know why. We can always do what we want. We can always do what we want. We can always do what we want. We can always do what we want.
That's your shit. I picked CCR. Can be kind of cliche in a while because people always talk about them being like the blue collar working man's group of going into the 70s and everything else and anti-war themes and everything else. But this is one of the few records I remember my dad consistently listening to, like growing up. And he got cancer when I was 10 and passed away when I was 12. And he had just tons of 8-tracks laying around in his closet, random cassettes, records, and everything else. And this was one that he had on like every platform. And it was amazing. And it was like, he was kind of PTSD, wasn't one of the type of person like sing around anybody or anything, but CCR would come on, man, and he would like jam it. And then like, years later after he died, my uncle, who was, I think he's like 8 years younger than my dad, he goes, I remember when he came back from Vietnam, he had this beat up old rusted car, and he put on CCR and he just cranked it. And he's like, to the point that the car is just rattling. And he goes, and the cops hated your dad already, but they were following him around town, and your dad would sit there and just scream the lyrics out the window at the cops and just didn't care. And that was like quintessential Pat Murphy. It was like, fuck the cops, I don't care. Like, so it was just through all these years, like even with all the different music I've ever listened to or things I've gotten into, I can still put on CCR anytime and just be like, yeah, this is awesome. Like there's just something about like, they're not punk rock, but in a way like the attitude and kind of the way they play kind of art in a way. It's that energy, it's that attitude that they have that was kind of like a precursor, I think, even going into stuff that like eventually influenced all of us. So yeah, CCR's Chronicle. It's still one of my jam CDs.
Sweet.
Cool.
Yeah. I picked Descendents Somery, which is a collection of some of their greatest early
I get it.
cuts. Summary.
I get it.
Oh! It's like a summer
Yeah,
kid.
I
The Descendants and their brand of humor. When I was like 12, 13, I remember watching like a skate video, and it had Descendants and Bad Religion and all these punk bands, but I didn't even know that punk was a name at that time.
Poser.
Yeah, really, totally. But I called it skate rock. And my friend Mike, who ended up being in my my kind of first bands, and we tracked down a tape of Descendents Somery, and one summer we just played it all the time. We'd be sitting on this big trampoline, and I just remember like rewinding like Silly Girl over and over again, and just like something about like the energy and the silliness and the melody and like the rawness of it all, like. I knew I found a thing that I was into. So yeah, very special collection specifically of a bunch of their stuff. So.
You spent all summer listening to Somery?
All summer to Somery. It's a great summer album.
I don't have much to say, but I really like the record. Nothing Is Wrong by Dawes. It's not a classic. I like the other ones, but it's just it's a band I currently like a lot, and that's it. I like this record.
Is there anything about it? Like, what stands out to it?
It's kind of different to me. I listen to it a lot when I fly on airplanes because it's just kind of chill and like kind of calming me, but also kind of rocks at the same time.
Yeah.
So I bet you I've done it a dozen times. Get on an airplane, and it's like as soon as I get on the plane, I'm like, I want to listen to that record. It's
That's
weird.
so touching.
Yeah.
Is there like when did you discover it?
Probably right around the time it was released. Probably, yeah. See, it's from 2011. It's probably right around that time. And they've got a bunch of records, but you know, it's a good one to kind of sing along to, and
Which is always good to do on an airplane.
Yeah.
Have headphones on, sing along.
It's either that or kick the front seat and cry. You know, it's-
yeah, I don't know.
Cool.
Cool.